Hi everyone, ¿cómo están todos? I am Elsa and
Maggie Guzman,
mejor conocidas como las.
Mil Amores.
So today we're gonna talk about
Panic attack and anxiety.
it could happen to anyone.
Anyone.
So I'm gonna start off because I've been dealing with panic attacks since I was 16. So maybe not a lot of people know me. A lo mejor muchas gentes no me conocen. You guys don't really know a lot about me because I don't really like to talk about myself a lot. It's hard for me because I've gone through a lot of things. I've been through different types of abuse, child abuse. I've been in a very abusive relationship. I was dealing with anorexia for a long time, child neglect, bullying by classmates,
You would do this.
friends, yes, friends, and a lot of family members. So one day I will elaborate and tell you guys a lot of things about myself. So I got my first panic attack at 16. At that time, I was dating some guy that I considered my best friend. He was pretty cool. We would do a lot of things together, and you know who, right?
El mecánico, right?
She would call him el mecánico.
He
really
wasn't a
cool.
mecánico.
He was really nice to me. We had like kind of like more like of a friendship than a boyfriend and girlfriend thing. So I remember the first panic attack that I got. Me and him. I used to always go to church. I used to love to go to church, even though I was
Which
like
one?
in party. I would
Our
go
Lady?
to Our Lady of Guadalupe
Where?
in Islos. And I don't know, I would always go to church. He knew that I love to go to church. And one day we were going to church. We would always do that like every single day before we would go home. Although I was in the party crew, they would call me Blondie. He was from a gang. They would call him. One day I'll reveal his name maybe.
No, you can't reveal names.
Okay, so we went to church, and all of a sudden I started feeling like a big pain here in my back. I don't know why. I just started feeling this really big pain in my back. Y me empecé como a sentir weak. I told him, I don't know, I feel weird. We sat down. He told me, sit down. I sat down like in this little stair. Because by la Church de Guadalupe, you have to like go up like 10 stairs to get to the church. So I sat in one of those little stairs, and I started feeling like really sweaty. Like my tongue started like coming out. Like I started feeling like, I know I looked weird right now, but that's how I felt. I felt really sweaty. I felt like if I was gonna throw up. I was like, I probably have like a stomach flu or something. No, nothing like that. I felt really weird. And he told me, let me go get you some water. But I was really scared. I was telling him, no, don't. I'm really, really scared. So he just like hugged me, and I just started to cry. Well, okay, I told my mom, since somos siempre tenía anemia, because I was always anorexic, pues my mom decided to take me to the doctor. I went to the doctor. They told me, yeah, she has like a lot of anemia. So we just thought that's what it was. Time went on. It got worse. I started getting panic attacks, like all of a sudden, like in the living room. I started feeling like if I couldn't breathe. I started feeling like if my world was gonna end. My heart, I felt it coming like out. I started getting like these cold sweats in the night. I just couldn't sleep. I would come up. As time went on, it got worse. It got to the point where like my mom had to stay with me all night hugging me, and I would cry. I was like, am I going crazy? What's going on?
We would be driving, remember?
We would be driving, and I had to park to the side, and I felt something like really weird. Like if it just wasn't me. Like if I was just like disconnecting from the world. Basically, that's what I felt. I felt as if I was literally dying. I was always scared to go to the doctor. Everything that I felt, I would just start Googling it. And I was like, I have to have something. I don't know. I feel like if I have something. The worst was maybe about a year ago. Okay, so in that time, I had a lot on my plate. My dad got sick. Previous year, my mom had just fainted all of a sudden. I was going through like a lot of stress in that time. As you know, we sing Las Mil Amores. I write the music. It was like hard. I was like in writer's block. I just couldn't write anymore. I was going through like a lot of emotions. School, new house. I was going through like a lot of things, a lot of crazy things that I just couldn't handle. I guess since all of the things that have always happened to me and more was added to my plate, I think this was like the worst. I started getting horrible sweats that I was like in the job. I teach choreography, I teach quinceañeras, and I would run out because I thought that I was going to faint. I was walking and I felt like if I was going to fall. I started feeling like my head heavy. I would walk and I felt like if I was gonna tilt to the side.
She would hold on to my hand. Like we would be here and she would go like, and I was like
super annoying. Like every day I would tell my mom, you think I have something? You think I have something? Maggie, you think I have something? My dad, you think I have something? My mom was like my biggest supporter. My mom was always there. She was there since the beginning all the way to the end. She never said nothing negative to me. My dad was like, I know that sometimes it was probably frustrating for him. It was probably like, oh, again? Because it's kind of annoying if you ever have met anyone or have been around anybody with anxiety. It's like, it's really, it's dragging because we feel a lot of things that are just abnormal. And like you go to the doctor, everything's right. You're like in this great condition, but yet I'm not gonna drink. Like I don't know. I was like, I'm not gonna drink drugs. I'm not gonna do it. I'm scared. I'm not gonna like drink those drugs. I'm just really scared. I'm even scared to drink an ibuprofen, right or wrong.
She thinks that it makes her go to the restroom or something.
So since I was getting these horrible panic attacks where I would run to the bathroom, I would like go into these cold, horrible sweats.
You lost weight.
I lost a lot of weight. I went down all the way to like 120. I was super scared. I was like, I probably have cancer. Something's going on. All my test results came out normal. It's just something that people don't understand, but I go through it. It's horrible. I've been going through this in 16. It got worse this past year. I couldn't function. I really couldn't. After she says a little bit about what she went through, I'll tell you how I try to deal with it.
Okay, so I became so obsessed with like accomplishing all my goals ever since I was 19 to now.
She's been good at it though.
I have been like, I guess since like, I know she's gonna make fun of me, but I guess since like I couldn't really accomplish a lot of things that in high school,
what?
I got obsessed with like.
Have you ever gone through this?
No, never in my life.
How have you always been though?
I've always been the type of girl that I'm like strong and I'm always happy. Nothing really gets to me. I've cried like probably for like the minimal.
She said yesterday
things.
like the 10 times she's only cried. Okay,
yeah, I've cried like if my cat dies, if my dad got sick, my mom, if I didn't, like if I didn't get accepted to Cal State LA back then when I wanted to go there, like I've had like a life like really perfect. I've never really complained about nothing. So from 19 on till now, I became really obsessed with like no one will ever get in the way of me accomplishing anything in my life.
She's like the schedule queen.
I was like, I have to get my AA certificate. I'm sorry, it's not a degree. I have to get my AA certificate, and I did. I have to get my bachelor's degree. I was the one that managed us for a long time. I used to get us gigs. I used to get us people to manage us, interviews, anything that you guys would always
January,
see movie.
What would you do?
I would like set a schedule. I have like New Year's resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
My goal was like, I don't know if you guys were familiar with these guys that were producers. I won't bring up their name, but my goal was like to go to them and like have them hear our music. Well, I could bring up their name, right or no?
No.
Okay, so it was these guys and they were producers. It was back in 2009, and it was something that me and Mr. were always like, that was like in our mind, and I got us to them, and oh my God, I was so blessed. I got us, writing a little note on Twitter, I got us an interview with Pepe Garza, programmer from La Que Buena, so I'm pretty good at like accomplishing everything.
Yes, she is.
I wanted to move out of our house in East LA and buy our first home, which we accomplished it back in 2013. I pushed and I pushed and I pushed, and I was like, and we did it. So we went back to school, got our master's degree, sold our house, bought this new one, which is now in Pico Rivera.
I was like, she's like, wow. I would see her and I was like, wow, to be her.
Yeah,
not to go through things.
I'm the one that like maintains the schedule. Like we have to like work out. I'm obsessed with like workout, and I have to like work out an hour and 30. From there we promote our business. From there we go to work. We come home, take a little nap, relax, and we go to our night job, which is we teach the quinceañeras. And at the same time, you know, we have to keep active in the internet because, you know, we don't want to disappear from, you know, las redes sociales. So basically, I'm like, my father got sick. He didn't get sick. He just got like this, it's a syndrome called Guillain-Barré.
Where he's like paralyzed.
And I was like the one that was a strong one, while my sister was like, cause she was getting panic attacks, and I was the one to like question the doctors, make sure everything was good, making sure my mom was okay. When my mom fainted back in 2013, I was the one there in the doctor's office checking, making sure like, are you guys doing your job right? Making sure that she got an MRI, everything that she had to get done just to clear her.
That like something's
She would
going on,
just leave, and
I'm like crying.
and like me, and I know that like I have to eat because I have to keep functioning. You know, I have to sleep.
I
and
don't eat when something's
so
going on.
after I accomplished all my goals, I kind of began to notice last year that I'm always the type of person, and I know it probably sounds selfish. I remember receiving my degree, my master's degree, and I was kind of like impatient, like saying to myself, I want more. I want the PhD. What's next? The first house that we got, I wasn't happy with it, and I was like, I want a bigger one, and I want to move to another city. With music, same thing. I'm like, no, Elsa, like I push her, and I know I'm sorry on that, and I'm the one that like pushes her, and I'll be telling her like, you have to write a song. You have to write a song as good as this one. You have to do it like this.
But she doesn't, who will?
Yeah, so I'm the one that like wakes us up at 4 a.m. We have to be up. We have to walk the dog. I'm the one that, you know, maintains everything, the house. I'm the one that keeps us going. About maybe a year ago, I began to notice that in the night, I started getting lightheaded. I started having blurred vision. I had anemia, so I was like, it's probably because I'm lacking on iron. It all started in February. I will talk about this in another video. I have to be checking up with rheumatoid arthritis because it does run in my father's side of the family. And I am like identical to the Guzman side of the family. And I have everything. Yo heredé everything from their side.
The rheumatoid arthritis, and they have a lot of arthritis.
When I was 19, no, I was 17, right? I was a senior in high school. I got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. Juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, and thank God, like, I don't know what, I went to Joseph Sanders in Monterey Park. He cured me, and it never came out ever again. So I have to be checking up with that, making sure everything's fine.
Good, you know.
So I went in, and right now as I'm talking about it, I'm getting kind of hot. So I'll probably get a live panic attack. I don't think so. I went in, and they do you a complete arthritis report. And I went to my doctor. He looks over at the paperwork, and he's like, no, you're free of rheumatoid arthritis. I don't think you'll ever get it ever again. You're okay. Osteoporosis. Your ANA for lupus came out positive. At that moment, I remember that I just stood there, and I was like, what do you mean? Like, what? And he's like, yeah, but I don't think you have it. I'm going to have you run some other tests. For the first time in my life, I felt something here like, oh my goodness, what? I panicked. I ran outside. I called my mom. I cried. I called my dad. I cried. I was there crying with my sister, and we were like in shock. And The doctor and the nurse were reassuring me, telling me, you don't have lupus. You don't have no symptoms. It's just that sometimes the ANA for some people come out positive. I began to Google things. I became obsessed. He did me blood work. Me on my own, I went to another doctor in Monterey Park. She's a great doctor. She's a rheumatologist. I got there and she's like, I don't think you have, lupus, but I'll go ahead and I'll make you she did me like a deep checkup. She ran her own studies. The doctor did his, and I came back negative. They told me, you don't have it. And the rheumatologist was explaining to me, letting me know my ANA comes out positive as well, but I don't think you'll ever have it. She did like an intense research on me test, and she's like, you're not gonna have it, don't worry. I panicked, and I remember I began to get kind of like striking pains up and down, worrying, headaches, because I got so obsessed with me thinking that I had it.
And even though they told her she didn't have nothing, she kept Googling stuff.
Yeah, and I kept comparing myself to WebMD, whatever other stories.
And in that time, Selena Gomez came out, like we found out about her.
She had lupus, and I was like, oh my gosh, like Snoop Dogg's daughter too. So it was like a lot in my plate. I began to like kind of like lose out of focus in my scheduling. It was around probably in I would say June. I ate in a marisco place in Paramount. I got an allergic reaction. My face bloated up. For about 2-3 weeks, I was not uploading nothing on Instagram or Facebook. I never uploaded this, and I didn't have the guts to do this because I was kind of embarrassed. My face was like this, and my lips were like this. Yeah. I was like worried. I remember I got like my first panic attack. I remember that my head started spinning. I felt like a big here, like pressure. I felt nauseated. I felt like if I was gonna I felt like if I was gonna die. I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, it's just an allergic reaction. You're gonna take this, and everything's gonna be fine. It went down.
But she kept Googling things.
Around that time, I remember that I was teaching a choreography of a quinceañera in East LA, and me and the mom started talking, and I remember her. At that moment, I began to notice that I had gained like 10 pounds, and because, we were overeating and we were having fun. I maintaining the diet, and I began to notice that my feet started getting getting tingly, and I was like, well, what's going on? I have a heel spurt on my left foot because I do too much workout. The doctors have told me, like, you abuse too much of your feet, you have to like calm down, but I don't. I know I'm probably not gonna have
my hand is tingling, and I told you, remember,
it was my feet. It was only my feet. I would
tell her, remember, I told you that I was tingly too, and she was like, she's probably, I don't know, I kind of got the sense like if she was like, she's probably just telling me so I won't worry, but I would.
Yeah,
I would get
so
tingly.
The lady started telling me like, oh, wow, about 6 months ago, my feet started getting tingly, and I was diagnosed with diabetes. And I was like, oh my goodness, I probably have diabetes. I began to worry. At that time, my uncle passed away, and I remember I was asking my dad, are you sure? He's in Mexico, so we didn't have a close relationship with him. He passed away like in July. And I remember I would ask my dad, like, are you sure he didn't pass away of diabetes? He's like, no, he had prostate cancer. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I began to Google stuff. I went to the doctor, and he was like, no, you don't have, nothing. Calm down. In April, I've been through a lot this year. In April, I lost my sense of taste and smell due to a flu that attacked here. And I got recommended to an ENT doctor that I personally don't recommend. He's so rude. He's the ENT doctor in White Memorial, the ear, nose, and throat. He's such a rude doctor. I really don't recommend him. I had a really bad experience with him. But anyways, I got recommended to him. And I remember he was like, okay, well, my doctor sent out for me to go get a, what is it called? That thing to check if you have sinuses, sinusitis. I don't know. It's like
it's a test. It's like a test for the ear, nose, and throat.
Yeah. And so I came back negative, and then the ENT doctor was like, "Okay, I'm gonna send you out to go get an MRI of the brain." And that kind of like got to
She
me
got like
because
super scared at that point.
I don't know. It just got to
the
me.
The name MRI.
Because I've been having like a lot of headaches lately, and at one point I did go to the ER like 2-3 years ago because like I had a severe headache, and I was getting really dizzy. So for me in my mind, it just accumulated. Like if I have a brain tumor, I had something in my head. There's something there. I felt my head heavy. So the week before getting the MRI, I started noticing my breasts started getting, I don't know, I kind of noticed that they were getting kind of like big on the sides and swollen. I went to the doctor, and he told me that I had a hormonal change at the moment. So I have milk. I have milk in my boobs.
And she's never had a baby.
I'm not pregnant. I haven't been pregnant. I've never been pregnant. I don't want to get pregnant. So, and I would Google things like saying like you have milk in your boobs or stuff coming out, you have breast cancer. It all just accumulated into my brain, and I was like, that's it. Like, I'm gone. I'm dead. I don't know. All this pressure just started accumulating. The week before the MRI, I remember, so the boobs, it's fine. They're giving me medication, but they're going to go down.
The hormones are going to go down, but they say she's going to like want to have sex. But that's what they said. It's not my fault.
I last week, it was probably on Tuesday, I started feeling really like shortness of breath, striking pains. I started feeling really dizzy, like if I was in a blackout. I called my sister and I'm like, Elsa, because I've had a couple already. Elsa, please come, hurry. Bring the alcohol. And I was sniffing on the alcohol, and I put like a wet cloth in the back, and I was kind of like holding my head back because I didn't know what was going on.
When I seen her, I said, she's having a panic attack. I knew she was because I recognized them because I had them. But it's easy for like somebody to say, well, you're having this, but yet you're going through it. And sometimes you might feel like, man, they don't care about me. They're like, they just want it to be fast. And it's like, no, it's not that. But
I'm all stressed out, guys. Look at my hair's falling out. So anyways, so that happened on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday again, I started having another blackout, and I was just like feeling like this. And I woke up, and I remember I told my sister, I don't know, I don't feel good. Like, if something's just not right. I feel pressure in my chest. I feel lightheaded. I have blurred vision. My feet keep tingling. And on Thursday, I had another one. And last Saturday was like the worst for me. Around 10 p.m., I began to have pressure here. I began to get a lot of pressure and tension in the back of my neck. I felt like throwing up. I went into the bed, and I remember I started calling my mom. I started telling them, guys, I think I'm gonna die. Call 911. And they were like, calm down. I went, no, you guys, call 911. I don't feel good. I feel like I'm gonna have a heart attack. They've never seen me like this. They probably thought I was playing. I kept insisting and telling them, dial 911. I'm serious. And they were like, Maggie, you have to calm down. I'm like, the alcohol's not working. Oh my God. I started like blacking out. I started hearing them far away, and I started seeing like clouds all over. I felt like if I was gonna die. I was really, really scared, and they called 911. And when the paramedics got here, I was like this. And
when they got there, my sister was like this.
My dog was crying.
Okay, she was wearing like ripped pants because you're going through a panic. The cloud is the worst. You're thinking you're gonna see.
I had a ripped Cal State Dominguez Hill shirt.
The paramedics started looking at me like she's drugged on, and I was like, I didn't say nothing because I wanted them to determine it. I knew she was having a panic attack, but I was like, let them talk to her.
Sense.
Because if I say something, she's probably going to say, well, since you're saying it, well, that's why they're saying it. So the main paramedic told me, was she like running around? And I was like, what do you mean running around? Yeah, like running around like crazy. No. Well, what happened? what she said. Right away, when they took her out, the oldest paramedic there told me she's going through an anxiety panic attack for sure. I told him, how do you know? Because, they take like a little machine and they check you. He told me because everything came out fine. If she would be having any sort of pain because of another thing, it would have came out there. I told him, all right.
Yeah, they were
we're
like,
gonna take her to the hospital.
Good. They took me over to Beverly Hospital.
They didn't pay attention to her.
And I was like, what? Like, because they usually do the emergency lights, like the woo woo. This is the first time, guys, I have been in an ambulance. It's so embarrassing.
No,
we just moved to this neighborhood.
I know how that feels, and a panic attack is horrible.
We just moved to this neighborhood. We've been here living since July. I was so embarrassed. Like, I know it was 10 p.m. No one was out, but still, it's kind of like,
Our neighborhood is like really quiet. There's never really people outside.
Yeah. So
we got there. Oh, my mom left with her.
My mom left. My dad. I felt so bad because my dad
was supposed to go with me, but when we were here, my dad told me, "You know what? I can't go." And I was like, "All right, I'm not gonna pressure him. I'm just gonna go on my own." So when I got there, I was like, "Oh, probably something's gonna happen since I didn't call 911 fast enough. Something happened to her." I went in there. The receptionist told me
another panic attack.
The receptionist told me, "Oh, I told her, I'm here to look for Margarita Guzman." She told me, "Oh, the girl that's having the panic attack, she's in that room." And I was like, "How do they know already?" Well, I went in and I see my sister in the bed telling me, "I feel worse. I feel sick. Call someone." She kept telling me, "Call the nurses."
I kept going to the bathroom, trying to throw up. I wasn't throwing nothing else. I wasn't throwing nothing out. I was just throwing saliva out. I felt my stomach churning. I felt all my legs cramping, if I couldn't walk.
We're taking blood for you, honey. We're taking
They
urine.
did me an intense.
What was it though?
Yeah, all this blood work and everything.
And when they were taking your blood, what were you feeling?
If I was gonna die, they put me liquid suero, and I have really little veins, and so it's always really hard for them to put the needle in. So they're trying to try it here.
She was really panicky, you guys. She looked as soon as I seen her, I'm like, "Oh, poor Maggie, she's having a panic attack."
So the lady comes in and she's like, "Honey, I'm gonna release you. I'm gonna discharge you." And I was like,
"But what did they do for you?"
"You're having a panic attack." They did me an EKG. They did me everything. Everything came back normal. The lady was like, "I think you're just having a lot of stress. Because what you're telling me, I think you're experiencing panic attacks." So I think that what did it for me, guys, was the MRI of the brain. When I went in to go get the MRI of the brain, I felt really tingly. I felt really scared. Whoever has ever had an MRI of the brain knows, they just put you in and you're just seen from here, and then there's this loud noise. They give you earplugs, and at that moment I was gonna get a panic attack, and in my mind I was like, think of happy thoughts, and something just went really fast, and I was like, "Mom, Dad, Elsa, Cody, Simba," and
Cody and Simba are pets.
Yeah. And I just started thinking okay, new house in a couple of years, PhD, more music, okay, more sleep. And at that moment, something clicked in the back of my head, if I had lost it, I was like, "Am I going crazy?" I just started breathing really hard, and I got an MRI done with and without contrast. And same thing, while they were trying to put the needle in, something in my mind was like, "Is this gonna be my life? Oh my goodness, I can't believe it." I mean, it sounds selfish because there is people that are going through brain tumors and all that. I don't know, guys. I just got really, really paranoid, and something that I have never ever experienced. So it turns out that everything came out good. The only thing was I have a hormonal change, and I am vitamin B12 deficiency. So that's the reason why I have tingly arms and feet at the moment. I got vitamin B12 shots, so that's getting in control, and I'm drinking medication. No more boobs.
So for me, there's no hope. There's no nothing. I'm just gonna have to live with it and deal with it. The things that I recommend for you guys to do, I've been through it. It's horrible. It's just the most horrible thing because I have to live with it. I've been living with it since I was 16. It's horrible because other people see you like if you're crazy, you don't have like support. It's hard because it's sad because of this thing that I have to go through, like maybe every year, maybe every 6 months, I'm okay. And then like in 3 months, I go back to being this way and people think you're crazy and it's not that, but they're panic attacks. I can't fix them. I can't do nothing. I'm not going to drug myself because I'm not going to do that. I just don't want to. I recommend you to get a doctor that you trust. I have this doctor. He's from Tijuana. His name is Luis Carlos Hernandez de la Mora.
Luis Hernando de la Mora.
He's the best. He understands me. I love him so much. I think that if it wasn't for him, I don't know where I'd be right now. You need a lot of support. At least one person, whether you have to go and seek for some counseling, maybe a friend on the internet, maybe a relative. Maybe you could do that. My mom, she hugs me and I just stay there until I'm ready to go back to being myself. My aunt, Coco, she is really supportive all the time that I call her. I don't know, maybe, behind the phone, she's going like that. But to me, she's always been really nice when it comes to that. She understands me. It's hard. You have to be happy. I've always had cats, but cats are not lovable. They kind of like just come to you when they're hungry or they're sick. I got a dog. His name is Cody, and he helped me out a lot. He makes me laugh. I think he's helped me out a lot because, I don't know, he's kind of like a lot of support for me. Another thing that you could do is just say, this is just a panic attack. It's gonna pass. Nothing else is gonna happen. Walk, do a lot of exercise, sneak in like a chocolate, a piece of cake, have fun, laugh, talk about funny things. Maggie's been going through it and I try my best to listen to her because you need somebody to listen to. You need someone to tell you, whether they repeat it 506 times, just listen. Who cares if they're telling you the same thing and in your mind you're going through the same thing? Who cares? Just listen. Be supportive. Be there for them. When they're not hungry, say, all right, even though you later on go to the kitchen and eat the food, but be there for them. Make them think that you're there with them 100% and make them believe in you. Because without the support, that person won't get out of it. And why do I want her to be like this? I'd rather her be Maggie, the active one, the one that makes me write music. Because without her, there's no Las Mil Amores. Even though I write, it doesn't matter. We need the whole full team to be there in order for you to move on and move forward. She's going through it right now, so she can tell you what helped her out. Maybe she will.
I can. I had one, the worst one was on Saturday, and all of last week was kind of weird. Yesterday I found myself crying practically the whole day, guys. I was in another planet mentally, which sucks because I'm the one that keeps the family really happy, and I'm laughing, and it hurts me because
all of us.
Because I hear my mom tell my aunt queríamos hacer sin miren, and my aunt tells my mom of course you guys are always happy. You guys have Maggie as a daughter, and
which I'm still my aunt's favorite.
It feels so nice to hear those comments. And what hurt me yesterday was my mom, and especially my dad, because me and him have always been really close, and
he tells me, I know you're nervous. I know you're nervous.
I've always been his tomboy, and he was all sad yesterday looking at me, and I was crying like a baby, telling my parents I don't want to live like this. And you guys, I'm just going through panic attacks. I know it's something bad, but it's not, it's not like an internal disease or you get me?
But it's not that. It's just the way you feel. I know that.
I actually had I'm kind of scared. I actually had on Monday, we were coming from, and it's bad. And I'm sharing this with you guys because I really want to reach out to all those people that are going through it. it was Monday evening, and I actually had a suicidal thought run through my mind. I remember I was like having a panic attack, and I was like, and I ran through my mind. I was like, I can't live like this because I don't know how to deal with stress because I've never been like a sad person. And I was like, and I'm so sorry. And like, I was like, I'm so sorry. I have to like, ask for forgiveness because it's not good for me to think like that. But no, guys, right away, get help. I went ahead and I called our doctor in Tijuana. I explained everything to him. I faxed them over all of my paperwork of the MRI of the brain and every little single thing.
And he's the one that recommended for her to get the vitamin B12.
Yeah, he was like, no, Margarita, no tienes nada. You're healthy. MRI of the brain is good. Your urine is great. No arthritis, no diabetes, your protein is great. You are lacking vitamin B12, so I'm gonna, I suggest this and this and this.
Going through hormonal
when
change,
you
it says here.
can come down and I'll fix you and
I'll fix
call
you.
me.
What do you mean fix me? You said he'll fix you.
Why do you always say stuff like that?
You said.
It's because she laughed because a long time ago I went with him and he told me, no, Margarita, tú no tienes room. Okay, guys,
Didn't
my
she
boobs
say
just
right
grew when
now?
I was
She
like 18
said,
and over.
"Come down and I'll fix you." You said the doctor said that.
I know you're thinking
You'll
perverted
fix it.
thoughts.
Oh, no.
He told me, but no
He'll
tienes,
fix
no
her.
tienes el reumatismo. Tienes el reumatismo aquí.
He'll fix her. She said, "I did."
But fix me like health-wise. Okay, so
hook it up.
okay. So, yeah, and he's like, just you girls call me when you girls are ready to get pregnant, but not by him. Like, he's going to be the one that's going to insert. We're going to take up the sperm. We're going to talk about that like later on. Oh, yeah. So, what I advise you guys to do is get a doctor that you guys trust. Because I know you'll go to, like, doctors, and I went to one, and he's like, take Xanax. And it's like, no, you can't be getting drugged. You have to get other methods and try to fight this. So, my doctor in Tijuana, he advised me to take swimming classes. Mm-hmm. I don't know how to swim. She does. I don't. I didn't appreciate the time that they would teach me how to swim. So I'm going to start taking swimming classes. Yoga. I've been meditating in the morning and the night.
Meditation music.
Meditation music to fall asleep. Nap in the middle of the day.
Adult coloring books.
Yeah, get like a hobby. There's a tea. They sell it in East LA and Herbs of Mexico. It's on Whittier.
And
I don't know. It's by that Ruben
Laguna
Salazar Park.
In the right? That's what
Not
the park's
Laguna
called.
Park. You're mentioning the gang.
Isn't that the
It's
name
Salazar Park.
Oh.
So yeah, it's Valerina hops or something like that, and some other one. It's like some 3 teas. They mix them. There's some stress free. They're natural, no?
There's
Or
some
they're
Shockley pills.
Shockley,
They're natural. You go to Shockley ahí en el Mercadito del Este de Los Angeles, look for that lady Vicky, and she's like in the top, and ask her to give you the stress reliever pills. They're great. My aunt recommended them to me. They're really good. Just drink one. I drank 4, and I'm like back to normal.
So the moment you start getting a panic attack, first you have to realize and tell yourself, I'm having a panic attack. And it's been working for me. Like, I'll start feeling weird and I'm going, I'm having a panic attack. Another thing that I've been doing is, and I searched it on YouTube, you get these 2 fingers and you tap here in your face, like really hard, and it relieves the stress here. Another one is doing this, and like I'm at work, and I'll be doing this, and I noticed that people like are like looking at me like. And last Monday I started doing this in a quinceañera that we're teaching in Huntington Park.
Do a lot of, like,
and
energy.
Some kid was like looking at me like if I was crazy, but it was just that. Another thing is focus on your breathing. And I know this looks weird, but it's like breathing through your nostril. And then you switch it. Do it like a couple of times.
And also the dog.
Yeah.
Walk them.
Care for like an animal. Like
and
adopt
hugs.
a pet.
She hugs me.
Yeah, like I'll hug her. And they're all happy because I'm not.
She never hugs me.
I've never been cariñosa. And like everyone can tell you, like friends, sister, family members. I've never been like
Boyfriends.
cariñosa. Boyfriends. All my boyfriends would always tell me like, show me your love. You love me. And I'm like, a guy actually broke up with me because of that. I remember in college. That's another story. All right. So yeah, and I'm like Wednesday, from the Addams Family. Yeah, guys. So do all that. It's been today. Actually, I feel a little more better. I was kind of like feeling my head kind of heavy, but nah. I'm gonna try my best to like get out of this because I am Maggie, and
She won't.
hopefully, because I can't deal with like stuff like this.
She won't.
Yeah. So I got my first vitamin B12 shot today, and I'm not feeling tingly anymore. Make sure you guys eat healthy,
Yes.
stress relief.
No,
Just
not always,
Google.
remember.
Just
Eat
Google.
stuff that you like.
No, you're supposed to eat
Dark
healthy.
chocolate.
Dark chocolate.
I want a piece of cake.
Pistachios, avocado, spinach. Make sure you eat like a good breakfast, and make sure you're fitting in like at least 7 hours of sleep, 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep. That's something that I was not doing, and I love sleeping. So yeah, guys, so that's how we are dealing with it, and we hope that this video
Is useful somehow.
all right, guys, so until then, and make sure you guys
Elsa
and Maggie, and make sure you guys
long-term
those are hard.
anxiety, panic attack survivor, and
Currently
newcomer.
going through panic attacks. My mom went through panic attacks, and I think our cousin goes through I don't know, it's probably like family related.
But anybody could go through it. Just be there, support them, listen, and I think they'll get better. All right, everyone. Bye.
Bye.